Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the latest installment of this Glory Hunter series. We are halfway through season 2 with Newcastle United. We are going to bring you the game against Fulham in just a moment. First of all, we're going to show you the goals from the games that we played after our double header against Arsenal and Chelsea. So let's jump right in. So as you can see, after the game against Chelsea, which was a very, very comprehensive win, obviously we had the 2-2 draw with Arsenal in the Champions League. We then went on to face Burnley in the league. As you'll see, Joe Willock doing what Joe Willock does of late, scoring goals with the winner in the 77th minute. As you will have seen it as well there, Domenico Berardi did pick up an injury in that game, ruling him out for a couple of weeks. As we see, Calabria takes the throw in, finds Tonali. The ball comes to Jonathan David, who cuts it back to kind of the edge of the box, about 15-16 yards out, finds Joe Willock, who fires home for the winner. We followed that up with a game against Brighton. We are away this time, as you will see. We've come home with a 2-1 win, despite conceding a goal as early as the 4th minute. So we'll bring you the goals here. As we can see there, Joe Willock losing out the ball. Stupinan makes a break down our right hand side. There's a big deep cross in the Solly March at the back post, who heads home to make it 1-0. Alexander Isak involved here as he finds a nice pass into Gordon. It's a lovely first touch past the defender. Absolutely drills it home low and into the corner to make it 1-1. In the 47th minute, then, as we see Livramento breaking down our right hand side, cuts the ball back to Anthony Gordon, involved again, really racking up those assists, squaring the ball across to Alexander Isak to make it 2-1, and so it finished. We then went into a Champions League game against Panathinaikos. We did rotate the squad a little bit. We gave a rest to a couple of players. We're still continuing with Odysseus Vlachodimos in goal. Diego Costa is now back from injury, but we're not risking him just yet. He hasn't performed well for us, and I would like to find some easier games from the feature in. As we see here, Sven Botman playing a lovely ball forward. There's a strong challenge on Jonathan David there. The ball falls to Harvey Barnes. Suspicion of offside, but he was on, make it 1-0. Pablo Roberto then in the 53rd minute from the edge of the box to make it 2-0. Corner from Anthony Gordon is saved initially after Botman, after the header, and Sven Botman's there to make it 3. Panathinaikos do pull a goal back with a lovely bit of football from Palistri. Calfuri then breaking down our right hand side in the 76th minute, cuts the ball back to Lewis Miley. Big first time cross into Adeyemi at the back post to make it 4-1. And our final goal sees Calabria on the right hand side, finds Tonali cutting inside with a nice ball to Adeyemi, and he just, like a little chip, like a little dink right into the top corner. Adeyemi there, of course, coming on to make it 5-1. We then followed that up with a game against mid-table Ipswich in the Premier League. Again, another strong result. As we'll see here, we'll show you the goals. We did, of course, open the scoring very early on, as you can see there. After only 12 minutes, we were already 3-0 up against Ipswich. So we bring in the goals again. As we see here, Bamba playing the ball wide right to Tino Livramento. He drives forward, finds Anthony Gordon. He fires a low ball across the face of the box, and Alexander Isak is there to make it 1-0. Suspicion of offside, but he was on, of course. Tonali now involved as he feeds a nice ball through into Anthony Gordon, making that inside run and fires home to make it 2-0. Then Adeyemi finds a short pass to Lewis Hall, who fires home from the edge of the box. In the 14th minute, the ball comes to Adeyemi. His shot is cannons off the crossbar, and Botman is there to make it 4-0. Corner comes in, and as there's an attempt of a clearance, the ball comes to Adeyemi from the edge of the box to make it 5. Before Joe Willock finds Anthony Gordon breaking down our right hand side again, doing what he does, firing across the face of the goal. And I'm not sure if that was Isak or Adeyemi. I feel like it might have been Adeyemi to score. We did concede a late consolation goal, as we see Chaplin it was a nice header from Jack Clark, finding Connor Chaplin, who fires home for the late consolation. And just to see, there was an own goal in there. Actually, the final goal was an own goal. And as we see here, Alexander Isak missing a penalty in the 60th minute. I feel like I should just remove him from all penalty duties as it stands. We then went on to travel to Leicester, again in the league, coming away, as you see again there, with a 3-2 victory. Karim Adeyemi continuing his goal scoring form. He's bagged a few goals in a few games now. It's great to see him really kind of settling in to this team and into his position. See a nice ball from Willock. There's a nice turn from Adeyemi. Gets away from his defender to make it 1-0 after only 4 minutes. Bruno Guimaraes then drives forward, finds a nice pass into Jonathan David. Alexander Isak, of course, rested for this game. A lovely through ball into Pablo Roberto to make it 2-0. And as we see Anthony Gordon this time on the left-hand side as he runs through defenders and gives the keeper no option. Leicester did pull 2 goals back, as we'll see now. A little bit of a mix-up here. Bamba with a poor clearance, really. Mavdidi with the ball across to Patson Daka. And then from the corners, we see McAteer swings it in, and Okole gets on from the front post. 2 late consolation goals. They did put us under a little bit of pressure, but we managed to withstand that and come away with the win. As you'll see there, in the 29th minute, Joe Willock did get sent off as well for a straight red card. We didn't bother appealing it because what's the point? So he is going to be missing for the next couple of games. We're about to play Fulham. This is a top versus bottom clash. As you'll see here, we are first in the Premier League. Fulham are bottom. We'll bring up the Premier League just to show prior to the game. As we see, we have a 2-point advantage over Arsenal at the minute. We do have a game in hand, obviously, to play now that we're going to play against Fulham. Every other club, apart from ourselves and Fulham, and Ipswich, and a few of the clubs down towards the relegation spots, have played 16 games, so we will be up to date with this. I did have a little look at our fixtures towards the end of the season. Because we're in first place and I feel like we're really going to put in a title challenge, I decided to have a look at how the season ends up. Our final 3 games are against Manchester United, Liverpool and Arsenal. So those are tough games, those are big games. They could potentially be 6-pointers. I mean, the ideal scenario is that we win the league before those games played, but maybe I'm getting a little bit ahead of myself. I'm getting a little bit cocky as opposed to confident, because we're not really trying to take a position of saying we're going to win the league, because that would just be foolish. So we're going to make a couple of changes here on the bench. As we see, Joe Willock obviously suspended, so we're going to bring Samuel Justo in for the bench. We're going to bring in Angel Alarcon as well, as Berardi is still struggling. He is still wanted by clubs, Al Ahly in Saudi Arabia. We're a month away from January transfer window. I might be tempted to sell. Further to that, Mateus Reis is not playing games for us. He's made 6 sub appearances, 2 starts. I might be tempted to sell. And Jonathan Taz, another one. I feel like Bamba has come in and really cemented his position as the number 1 centre back along with Sven Botman. I'm going to make one little change. Bruno Guimaraes could do with the rest, so I'm going to bring Justo in for midfield. I'm going to keep Lewis Miley. Pablo Roberto is on the bench. It would be absolutely incredible if Justo scores again in this game. He's played 1 game, scored 1 goal, 4 minutes into his debut. I expect nothing but a win. Everybody's motivated. This is what we like to see. Fulham with a relatively strong team, as we see there. We're going to get straight into it. As we see Bamba coming back inside to Sven Botman from the right. We're only in the 2nd minute. Tonali looks left, finds Lewis Hall. Comes back in the midfield to Tonali, finds Justo. There's a nice pass into Alexander Isak. There's a penalty? Surely there's a penalty? Did I imagine Alexander Isak getting tripped up there before he could get to the ball? It was a good effort. It's come back off the woodwork. But there might have been a shout for a penalty. Obviously, the VAR saw nothing of it. So, I mean, just have to suck it up, put on the big boy pants, as they say. As Tonali receives the ball in midfield, finds Justo. There's a nice pass in the Adeyemi. It's crossed to Alexander Isak. I celebrated too early. It might be offside. A nice little bicycle kick-like effort to tuck that away. It's ruled out. Alexander Isak, always on the shoulder, always on that narrow line. It's a nice ball to Adeyemi. I mean, yeah, in fairness, he's quite a bit off. Well, he's not quite a bit, but he is obviously offside. So that's a little bit disappointing. As we see in the other results there, Chelsea have beat Arsenal 4-1. We are, of course, playing the late kickoff in this weekend's fixtures. As you see, Lewis Miley wins the ball back, finds Isak. Is he going to have a go? He's having a go, and he's finding the back of the net. It's gone in off the foot of the post. A little bit of luck in it, but there's a nice pass here. Lewis Miley, Livermento makes an interception to find Miley. It's a nice pass into Isak. Just shifts it onto his right foot, and a low finish. into the bottom corner. It's gone in off the post across the face of the goal, but we're in the lead 1-0, and 10 minutes in, Lewis Hall now to whip in a corner. Leno comes to claim and goes long. There's a clearance there from, I think it was Samuel, just to win it. Comes to Lewis Hall, finds Lewis Miley, back to Adeyemi. Hall's in. Lewis Hall picks up the loose ball. There's a tackle comes in from the defender, but he knocks the ball into Lewis Hall's path. As we see, there's a nice pass here from Miley to into Adeyemi, and it looks like the defender actually gets the touch on it before Adeyemi. Ball comes to Lewis Hall, making that overlapping run, and it's 2-0 after 11 minutes. So a very, very pleasing start. This will certainly do good for our goal difference as well. As you see, if we continue and win this game, we have a 5-point advantage. Chelsea did beat Man United 4-1. Aston Villa did lose to Arsenal 3-1. Samuel Justo involved, finds Adeyemi. It's all the way back to Bamba. He's looking to drive forward. Touches it off to Livramento. Goes down the right flank. Cuts back to Lewis Miley. Ball comes to Isak. 17th goal of the season. And it's the beginning of December. This is a very good run of goal scorer form he's on. I think he is, before the game, I think he was 2 goals behind Erling Haaland in the goal scoring charts. That should put him level, joint top goal scorer. I would love to see Isak score another goal. Of course, it does mean if we get a penalty opportunity, Isak's going to be the one taking it. And if that happens, he had better score. Or I will be changing that option. Lewis Miley with an interception. Gets to make the break into midfield. Finds a nice pass into Isak. There's an effort, but it's a good save by Leno. So half an hour in. Still a lot of football to be played. Sandro Tonali with the corner. Aims it for the front post. Samuel Justo, I think, won the ball, but made a wild clearance backwards. Man City did beat Crystal Palace 1-0. Spurs did beat West Ham 3-1. Bournemouth beat Liverpool 2-0. That is actually a huge result. There's an effort here. It's bouncing around the box. Adeyemi with the worst first touch you will ever see. But we're playing very, very well. It's nice to see Samuel Justo playing well as well, actually. Because he's had very little football for us so far this season. He is still young, of course, as he finds a ball into Isak. Comes wide to Lewis Hall. He's looking to get down the left flank. He's going to cut back. Finds Adeyemi. Chips it into the back post. Gordon can't get on the end of it. Comes to Livramento. He's getting to the byline. Back to Gordon. Comes back to Tonali. There's a nice first touch there. And Tonali can't quite find the net. It was a very nice first touch there to deceive the defender. But we win 3-0 at half time. 23 minutes. And we're 3-0 up. What a 45 minutes. You've blown them away. Yes, let's go with that. So we come back out for the second half. As you'll see from the past maps, we are pretty much camped in their first half. They haven't their average positions are not outside their own half. As Iwobi now takes a free kick into the back post, ball is cleared, picked up by Sessegnon, goes back to Iwobi, finds Adama, goes back for Cuenca. That's an incredible goal. Jorge Cuenca with an incredible top bins in the postage stamp finish. As we see, the ball comes back to Iwobi. Adama can't get around, finds a nice pass to Cuenca. It's a good first touch, gets out of his feet. Odysseus can't get to it. Credit where it's due, have to be said. So looking at the fitness levels, we may need to make some changes very shortly. We are approaching 60 minutes. Sven Botman struggling a little bit in fitness. So we'll bring Garcia in. He's also carrying a yellow card. Anthony Gordon struggling a little bit as well. So we'll bring Alarcon in there. And in midfield, Sandro Tonali, we're going to bring in Bruno Guimaraes. So let's go with that for now. Might make some changes again a little bit later. Let's change up the mentality to go very attacking. I feel like we've taken the foot off the gas a little bit. Livramento finds Alarcon with the throw. The Spaniard goes left to Hall, comes back to Miley. Justo finds Livramento on the right. He's got space to run into. That's definitely a penalty. Alexander Isak is going to hit this. There's a VAR check. He's probably going to give it. I expect him to give it. I think it was quite clear and obvious. I don't think that this check is needed as such, but it's given. It's Isak for the hat-trick. It's a good penalty. That's a good penalty. So the question is now, do we keep Isak on? He's completed his hat-trick. Do we take him off and give him a rest? Livramento could do with a rest, so let's bring Calabria in. And the question then is, who do I bring on? We bring in Harvey Barnes maybe on the left. Do we bring in Jonathan David up front? Jonathan David has done well for us as well. He has bagged a few goals this season. So let's bring him and give him a fair crack as well. You know, we signed a backup striker for exactly these kind of moments, so we may as well bring him in. As Lewis Hall takes a throw on the right hand side to Justo. It's back to Justo. Finds a nice pass into Calabria. The ball comes to Alarcon. Doesn't quite get on the end of it correctly. But we maintain a 4-1 advantage. Lewis Hall now with a free kick. Goes short. The ball goes back to Odysseus. Finds Lewis Hall as he looks for Garcia moving forward. Nice pass into Justo. A nice pass into Adeyemi. Goes to the byline. Gets the ball back across the box. Can't quite find anyone. So Alarcon picks up. Comes to Calabria. He's having a go. There's a very good save there from the goalkeeper, Leno. That's out for a throw-in, I think. Doesn't matter because we have no highlight of it. So a very, very good performance now, it has to be said. Lewis Miley has been playing very well for us. He's got 2 assists already. As we approach the end, we're in the stoppage time. 5 minutes to be added on. Not really sure what for, but you know, who cares? As we see it out for a 4-1 victory at home to Fulham. Very happy with the result and the way you played. Everybody appears very happy. It's what we want to see. So we have a 4-point advantage at the top of the league at the minute, and we also have a +5 goal advantage on the second place team, who is Arsenal. So it has been a very good month. Tonali needs a rest, that's fine. Classic Isak, yes, absolutely. We'll look at the goal scoring charts, and Isak has gone one ahead of Haaland. So it's nice to see him being top goal scorer, certainly. So that is it for this round of games. We have, of course, played 6 games in this. Well, we've watched 1 game, but we've brought you the goals from 6 other games. We do have 6 more games coming up, including Feyenoord in the Champions League, the EFL Cup quarter-final against Bristol Rovers, followed by Liverpool and Arsenal as well. So we will bring you the highlights from those games. The FA Cup third round draw has been made. We are going to be playing something of a local derby against Gateshead. They are, of course, in the Vanarama National League. So I feel like it's a good opportunity to rest certain players and give all our players first team opportunities. So we will certainly do that. And we have a Champions League doubleheader at the end of January, as well as the January transfer window as well. So we will see what comes of that. But that is it for this episode. We are currently top of the league, as we mentioned. We've been doing very, very well. As we see our progress, we have been 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 weeks now. We've been top of the league, just about kind of hanging in there to begin with. It was getting close, but we have opened a little bit of a 5-point gap. So we will be back in the next episode with goals and highlights from those games. We hope to see you then. Until then, thank you and take care. Thank you for watching this video. I do hope you've enjoyed it. Please remember to subscribe to the channel. It helps us to grow and helps us to bring you more videos like this. Please also leave a like and share the video as well. And please do leave a comment. We would love to hear your feedback also. That's it for now. You can watch one of these recommended videos, but we will see you in the next one. Until then, thank you and take care.